In what ways does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? Poster. The layout of the poster was developed by my research on real horror film posters in my texture analysis. I placed the title of the film just below the centre of the page, as this was what was common in the posters I studied. The billing card is placed at the bottom. I put the release date, clear, just below the poster title, similar to the Nightmare on Elm Street. The fonts on the posters all came across slightly decayed and old, so the font choice also had this feel, which also fits into the wood setting. 2 out of the 3 posters I looked at showed the iconography of a weapon in the poster, therefore I made sure a weapon was clearly visible on my poster. I especially went for the Halloween man's outfit of dark, scruffy clothing to create a mysterious look. For my poster, I knew that I had to make my film title, release date, and tagline and my producer's name stand out from the background of my poster. To do this, I used bold font written in capitals with these elements in the bigger of the fonts included on my poster. The images used on my posters that I researched were all of the killer or enemy. Therefore, I felt making a medium shot of just my killer with focus on the weapon. I added a dark sepia effect to the image, as again this seemed common on horror films. It also made the image slightly scarier, as the original image was taken in the day, which wasn't totally conventional for horror. At the bottom of the page I included the institutional information, film company logos, which I also knew was conventional. They aren't too big, as they don't need to stand out hugely on the poster. I used a shot of the killer looking down at the camera. This makes him look more dominant and as if you were a person or a victim looking up at the killer. I took into account the mise-en-scène. When I took my image as it was taken... I took into account the mise-en-scène when I took my image as it was taken with the woods in the background, which fits into my storyline. I placed my tagline at the top as one poster I researched did this. This was the Halloween one. And I also wanted to include the producer's name just above the main title to attract audiences from this past success. I set my billing card out in a different way compared to the most of the posters I studied, as I felt the block layout suited my theme better. The colour theme I used was centralised around the Hessian bag that the killer wore as a mask, hence the brown sandy tone. Website. The title is placed straight at the top of the page, in the biggest font to make it stand out, which was very conventional in my research. The tagline is placed just below the title, which I found was very common in my research also. My headings were placed below this. From my focus groups, I knew these had to stand out as they hold the information within them. To enhance this, I developed a button effect around the text. I got this idea from the Nightmare on Elm Street poster website, but used it in a slightly different way to make it my own. From my research, all the websites included the trailer as a main focus point, so this is what I also did. By centralising its position, it can't be missed by my audience. I also knew my billing card, company logos, release date had to be included. I used inspiration and ideas to place them on the website in their best positions for their importance. My research showed things such as followers on social networks, so I included this. However, I thought adding how many likes and tweets they have occurred, this will show the popularity of the film and give an instant review to anyone who wants to see it. The image was again taken of the killer, as this again was conventional from the research I did. It's taken in a browny sepia effect and it's slightly distorted. This is to keep a similar theme as the poster image. And like the poster, the killer isn't placed centrally. This is due to the position of the trailer taking up this space. I knew the killer still had to be included somewhere, and somewhere that it couldn't be missed. And due to the amount of space to the right of my page, I thought this would work best. I used a long shot image, unlike some I researched, as I felt this created a good setting, as from all the woody space background it creates an isolated and lost atmosphere, with just the killer and his weapon waiting there. I placed all my features such as the title, tagline and buttons, as they are one of the most important features of the website. I also backed my trailer up with a border to make it stand out more from the page. Most websites didn't make their release date as big as mine. However, from my audience research I'd done before, I knew this was an important piece of information that should stand out and shouldn't be able to get missed. Trailer. In my trailer I used a variety of shot types. The start of the trailer needed establishing shots so the audience could understand the location. The duration of the shots at the start are longer to help build the state of equilibrium, as it makes the mood calmer. This all went towards creating a narrative for my film to help tell the story of what is going on. This was also helped by using the captions between the shots that I had created. Throughout the trailer, the shot speed increases, which helps to build tension. At the end of the last few shots are only 2 to 3 seconds long. This created a lot of enigmas in a short period of time, which is effective in drawing an audience in and is extremely common in real film trailers. Throughout my trailer, I tried to represent my two main characters as very normal by their clothing and attitude, making them seem innocent and vulnerable compared to my killer character. This character is shown very little in my trailer, with short, quick shots to create an enigma. I tried to show parts of the killer than all of him, as this was common in my research. This was done by either just shooting the bottom half of the killer or by using the dark light to hide his full figure. Also, most times the audience see the killer, they see his knife. This helps to represent the power he has. By him wearing a mask, it also helps to create an enigma and this mysterious feel, as the audience don't know anything about the character. At the end of my trailer, we see quick dramatic shots of the killer interacting with the two other characters. This was common in my research. I knew my final shot had to be very dramatic and create an enigma. I used the Carol Clovers theory of the last girl and had the only close-up shot in my trailer of the girl's face, and then she screams. This creates an enigma of what happens to her next, making the audience want to watch the rest of the film. However, I used quite a simple piano tune on my trailer. It was common for trailers to use this. At the beginning, it helps to create this calm, all is well feeling. However, in my research, once the trailer becomes more intense, the music changed to more dramatic, but I felt I would change mine in a slightly different way. Instead of making it more dramatic, I just distorted the music that I already had, which I felt made the atmosphere more scary, which is what I wanted. How effective is the combination of your main product and ancillary texts? I knew that from my previous texture analysis that promotion packages all achieve consistency throughout each product. For my products, I also tried to do this. The text style of the font was all kept the same. I downloaded a font called I Still Know from DaFont, and this I used for my film title. The rest of the font I used for my tagline date, producer's name, was written in Georgia. I used steel tongs for my billing card and used the same billing card for all of my products. The images were both linked on the poster and the website, as I made sure the same outfit, weapon, and location was used, and I used a sepia distorted style to add to the creepy atmosphere. Again, in the trailer, the killer is one of the main focus points, as this was conventional in my research. The background setting is on all three packages is of the wood setting, having a foliage dark background. The colour scheme has been kept consistent too. I used the brown background for the image effect and the black, grey, white font. This colour theme is used throughout. The studio I used throughout my packages, New Line Cinema. Their logo was present on each of my packages. The caption, "Only madmen go into the woods alone," was printed on both my poster and my website to create a consistency. On both my website and my poster, the tagline becomes a little lost in the background. This was because I found editing the light on my images hard to make the dark font stand out.